How's everybody doing? This thing closer. Make sure everything is working properly. I see folks on Facebook as well. Everyone, we're about to get started. Bismillah. Oh Almighty God, Allah, we thank you for allowing us to experience and witness your marvelous creation, and for the opportunity for us to connect for a higher purpose, rising above the chaos of this wicked world. May we be uplifted, find balance, and become grounded. We thank you, we love you, we praise you in your holy and righteous name, in the name of your risen and exalted Christ, and in the name of your divine reminder, and Jesus in our midst we pray. Ameen. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Salam. Peace. And welcome to Zewdy's Zen Zone, a virtual sacred space where we come together and deal with healing and well-being and focusing on the power of positive thought. And we know that healing is not just a surface level thing. It's physical, it's spiritual, mental, emotional, and all of those things are interconnected. They all affect one another. So, for those of you who may be viewing for the first time, I am Zewdy, curator of the Zen, and for those of you who are familiar, welcome back. It's good to see you all again. And I want to know how everybody's doing. I'm doing fine. What is this, week 3 of the new year according to the Gregorian calendar? Doing my best to stay healthy, stay well, and focused, moving forward and upward despite the chaos and despite the uncertainty. And I feel pretty good. I'm thankful to be alive. I thank Allah, and I'm thankful to have you all here with me spending this time. We've been focusing a lot on the physical aspect of healing lately, especially because still being in a pandemic, COVID-19, and it is currently flu season, flu and cold season in the winter, I guess the northern hemisphere places. So, talking about different foods and things that we can implement to boost our immunity and help us stay nourished and strong. This week I wanted to talk about a few different herbs / spices that have a lot of health benefits, and these particular ones I use pretty much on a daily basis, mostly like in a tea form, but before we get into that, I want to know who is viewing, who are you, where are you, ASL essentially. So age, sex, location, as most of you know, and for those of you who don't know, 30, female in Georgia, United States. That is where I am currently. So I just want to know who's viewing, where are you, how old are you, is it still hot, and what this concoction is, has most of the herbs I want to talk about today. It's a very warming tea concoction. It's hot. Let's see who's in the building. Peace. Cosmo, Jamond. Hey, Dr. Zozo. Ebony says, Assalamu alaikum, queen. I've been looking for you. Praise be to Allah. Wa alaikum salam. I'm glad you found me. Peace, rural livety. All right. Pleasure to be here. Wonderful. Peace, Jasmine. 35, male Georgia. 22, female Georgia. Okay, let me check out who's watching in on Facebook. Love to you from Dallas. Okay, Texas in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Peace, everyone. All right. Oh yeah, before we get started into these herbs, I do want to shout out those of you who have contributed to Zewdy and Zewdy Zen Zone within the last week. So we have Simply Eccentric. Thank you very much. Laketrick, aka Golden God. Thank you. And Jamond, who I see is in the building today. Thank you very much. And I want to shout out Dale. I don't know if he's watching. Oftentimes he doesn't watch live because time zone things and work. But he's been a very consistent donor, and I really appreciate it very much so. It helps me sustain, maintain, and, you know, get things done and have more, just it enables me to do more. And I have more content on the way. So stay tuned. If you aren't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for those of you on YouTube so that you can stay updated on when I go live and when I upload things, because there is a lot more coming, inshallah. And for those of you who may be interested in donating, these are the ways: my Cashapp, PayPal, and Venmo. Thank you very much. And if you look in the description of this video on YouTube or the description on the Facebook event, you can see the links, the direct links you can click. That makes it easier for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing. Again, I really appreciate the contributions, the donations. They help my channel grow and they help me continue to get this work in. All right, let me see who else is in here. Okay, 41 male London, UK. 48 female MGT. Okay, yes ma'am. Ohio. 29 male Michigan. 30 male Michigan. Okay, Michigan's in here. Peace, my sister Greta. It's good to see you. All right, peace. Okay, so a few of the herbs that I want to talk about today, as I was saying earlier, I have in this tea concoction right here. And this blend is inspired by a tea blend that East Africans use along with a black tea bag, but I can just drink it by itself. Now, what I like to do is a little different from what they use, but this consists of cardamom, clove, cinnamon, and ginger. That's all in here. And all of those different herbs, they have a lot of different health benefits. They can help with different conditions and ailments and diseases, preventative as well as alleviating. And they have a lot of similarities. So when I go through the different things, you'll see that. And oftentimes, like in here, these particular herbs and spices are combined. They go well together flavor-wise and the way in which they work. So, all right, I'm going to start with ginger. So I love ginger very much. I drink it every day. I make ginger lemon water in the morning. It's very detoxifying. It's really good for you. But let's talk about ginger specifically. So there is a compound in ginger called 6-gingerol, which has anti-cancer effects. Ginger eases nausea. So if you are dealing with nausea, and it's safe for pregnant women, but with like most things, you want to make sure you have a safe dose. Like, you can have too much of something even if it's natural. And that's something that I think is important to emphasize, because if you're not familiar with natural medicine and supplements and things like that, you might think that because it's natural, it comes from the earth, that you can't overdo it, you can't OD, you can't consume too much. But that is not necessarily the case. It may be for certain things. Some things may be safe to consume in abundance, and other things you have to know the information. You have to know the dosages that are safe, because natural things, they can be potent, they can be very powerful, and if you're not careful and if you're not knowledgeable, you can harm yourself. So it's good to make sure you do your research on the things that whatever you're consuming, So I just wanted to put that out there before I continue, because I really think that is important to know. All right. Ginger can help decrease blood sugar. It can alleviate premenstrual syndrome symptoms. So if you have headaches, if you are bloated, because it has anti-inflammatory effects. It also helps with osteoarthritis and joint pain, and that is also attributed to its anti-inflammatory properties. And many people know that ginger is effective in combating infections. So if you have some kind of infection internally, viral, bacterial, and even fungal, ginger can assist with that. People use ginger, of course, in their foods, different kinds of foods. I find it the easiest to consume it like a tea. So in my tea or ginger infused water, that sort of thing. And it has a warming effect. So when you drink it, when you consume it, it actually can help you feel warm. Okay, next we're gonna go with cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I have a couple of these herbs here as well. So, what I like to do is take a couple of these, like break it. This one is pretty tough. There we go. Break a piece, get a couple of pieces, and put it in my water that I boil. And I also have over here a really great book called Alchemy of Herbs that I need to get more into myself, but it has a lot of good recipes and things that you can use for food and remedies to heal. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pull from this in the near future when I share more information about herbs. But anyway, let's get back to cinnamon. So cinnamon is very high in antioxidants, and it is even powerful enough to be used as a food preservative. I know oregano has that ability too. Very, very potent. But we'll get into that at another time. Cinnamon can help fight infections. It can help repair tissue damage. It's anti-inflammatory. Cinnamon reduces LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, while the good HDL cholesterol remains stable. It can reduce insulin resistance and lower blood sugar levels. So that is very good for those who may be suffering with diabetes. It helps you with that, because when you reduce insulin resistance as well as lowering blood sugar levels, it helps your body be able to use the sugar properly. Cinnamon also protects against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And yeah, so it helps protect your nerves and your brain function. It also can help reduce the growth of cancer cells and the formation of blood vessels and tumors, because there's a compound in cinnamon that is essentially toxic to the cancer cells, causing cell death, which is what we want. And it has antibacterial and antifungal properties. So, yeah, cinnamon, just like ginger, the way that I consume it the most is in a tea. You know, there are other ways that you can use it, but that's the easiest way for me personally. Let me just see what the folks are saying in here. Israel says, "Hey Zewdy, it's really good to have you back. What's the topic today?" Okay, peace, Israel. Since you are kind of just joining us, I'm talking about different herbs and spices that I use every day and some of the different health benefits that they have. And that's what I've been going into. I don't know when you came in, but I started with ginger, and then I moved on to cinnamon. And as I said a little earlier, I have a combination of a few of the herbs that I want to talk about today. This is cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, and clove. And I'm sure you are familiar with these herbs. Greta says, "Wow, I'm glad that you said that, because I was drinking pure ginger tea while nursing and my baby kept spitting up. Once I figured out what it was, I stopped drinking it." Yeah. That's interesting. Because I know, things go into your milk, and while it is a natural thing, it's good to know if or how it may affect the baby or affect your milk. It might even just affect the way that it tastes, and it might not be pleasant to the baby. So, yeah. Okay. Let me see my folks on Facebook. Peace you all. I really like the sound bowls that I have playing in the background right now. These sound bowls have the frequencies of 432 hertz and 216 hertz and 108 hertz. And what it says is that it can relieve stress, tension, and anxiety. I really like to listen to different frequencies throughout my day, sometimes at night before I go to bed, or to help me get into a meditative state. I can listen to frequencies while I'm meditating, but lately I have been practicing meditating just in silence and listening to my breath, breathing, and letting my breath be the thing that I focus on. Because what I noticed is, I know this is kind of off topic, but we're talking about healing, we're talking about different therapeutic things. But what I noticed in my meditative practice is it really helps when you are focusing on your breath, it can help you more to go inward, because your breath literally is going inward. And for me, it's more effective than focusing on something else that is essentially outside of me. And your breath is a part of you. You know, breath comes from a word that means spirit, breath of life. It's very deep. Our breath is something. I feel like I could have a whole video talking about the breath, and maybe I will in the near future, because it's so important. I mean, obviously we need to breathe to live. That's a given. At this point, we all know that we must inhale and exhale to continue living. But because it's such an automatic thing that we do, I think it's very easy to take breath for granted. And, you know, when we get sick and have congestion in our nose or in our lungs, like a respiratory infection, those are the times, oftentimes, that we think about when we could breathe clearly. You know, it's like, man, what I wouldn't give to clear all this out and all of this. And, you know, sometimes that, unfortunately, is what it takes for us to be thankful and grateful for our breathing. But it shouldn't take that. You know, it shouldn't take us losing the ability or the ability being hindered for us to finally value it, because it is so valuable. I mean, it is one of the most valuable things of our lives, our breath. Our breath is so deep, and what we can do with our breath when we are consciously breathing, you know, it's just so powerful, and I felt compelled to speak on it. You know, it wasn't a planned thing, but I'm just moving by the Spirit. Yes, the breath. Before I move on, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about it that was very important. Oh yes, in times of stress or anxiety, when something is making us anxious, oftentimes that can cause us to hold our breath subconsciously, or, you know, not intentionally, but it's a thing that a lot of people do when they're feeling stressed, when they're feeling anxious. They hold their breath, and when they do breathe, it's very shallow breaths. Whenever you may notice yourself doing that, please try to act quickly to stop doing that. When you find yourself holding your breath because whatever you're dealing with or thinking about is making you anxious, try to correct it as soon as you can and be like, oh, okay, I'm feeling really stressed right now. Let me take some deep breaths. Let me take 3 to 5 deep breaths to help me get back centered. So, and oftentimes when you're holding your breath out of that state, that anxious or stressed state, you'll also find yourself doing other things that indicate being uneasy, like your shoulders might be up. This is something I used to do subconsciously, like when I was feeling uncomfortable, I would hold my breath and have my shoulders up here, and after years and years of doing that, I have so much tension in my shoulders that I am working on every day to loosen. But it's so much better now because I've really been working on it, and I am a much more conscious breather these days. But, you know, there's so many things in life that can make us feel stressed. And stress oftentimes comes from just having a burden of something weighing over you, something that, you know, a duty or a responsibility that is not being fulfilled. That can bring a lot of stress on your mind. So for all of us tuning in right now, I just want to take 3 really deep breaths before we move on, because I know there's somebody out there that may be feeling stressed and anxious right now, and we are in Zewdy's Zen Zone. So, you know, this is a place for enlightenment. It's a place for peace. It's a place for healing as a community, as a collective. So let's just take 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right? So, and here we go. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale. Again, breathe in through the nose. And when you breathe in, let your belly expand. And exhale. One more time, breathe in through the nose. And exhale. Oh, I feel so relaxed, like I could go to sleep right now. But I won't, because we have things to talk about. I feel so zen. I feel so peaceful right now. All right. Next, let's see. Oh, yeah. So we're moving on to cardamom. And I see somebody asking about it right now. Kai just says, what cardamom pods you get there? I love the green ones, but then I found a black version. That's kind of sweet. I get the green one because that is what I'm used to using. And I have some here right now. I'm going to show you. This is cardamom. I love cardamom so much. Of all the herbs that we're mentioning today, is this my favorite? I don't know if I want to pick a favorite, but I love cardamom. One time I had a cardamom rose chai latte or something like that. It was so good. I'm like, I need to learn how to mimic that with bio coffee, and I will, but I need more roses. But anyway, all right. So cardamom has a high level of antioxidants that help to lower blood pressure, also helps to fight cancer and lower blood sugar. Just like ginger and cinnamon, it has anti-inflammatory effects. It also has a compound that helps to heal ulcers. And what I was reading about cardamom is that it can help improve breathing and increase airflow to your lungs. So people will use the essential oil of cardamom to help that in an aromatherapy, putting it in an oil diffuser, that sort of thing. So yes, cardamom. And let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to read some things that I had here. Actually, a couple of Bible verses actually that mention herbs, because it's in our scripture. All right, so this is from Revelation 22:2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Now, I'm not going to say I understand that 100% because I know that scripture has a lot of depth and to the meanings, but I wanted to read that. And yeah, here's another verse. This is Ezekiel 47:12. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on the side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary. And the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. There's some more stuff here too. Genesis 1:11, and God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. You know, the herbs, man, healing for the nations. What did I want to go to next? Oh yeah, I wanted to go to cloves. And of course I have cloves here. Now these herbs, you really don't need a whole lot because they are potent. So as I was saying earlier, it's important to do your due diligence to make sure that you're not overdoing it. Potency wise and flavor wise, because as small as some of these things are, like clove for instance, this is a tiny little clove, right? But these things are so potent and powerful that you don't need a whole lot in whatever you're using them for. But let's go into the benefits of cloves. All right. All right. So cloves contain a lot of good nutrients, and what I'm about to read is 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, what it contains. So it's only 6 calories, 1 gram of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 55% of the daily value of manganese. That is a lot. A teaspoon. For those of you that are familiar with measurements, a teaspoon is a very, very small amount, relative to tablespoon, cups, and things like that. But 1 teaspoon of cloves, ground cloves, contains 55% of the daily value of manganese. Manganese is an essential mineral for maintaining brain function as well as building strong bones. So, it's very, very important. We hear about other vitamins and minerals that are more commonly spoken about, like vitamin C, vitamin D, and these are all very, very important things. They all help our bodies to function in different ways, and they serve different organs, things like that. But you don't really hear about manganese that much. I do think though that the more you get into specifics, like if you were someone focusing on brain function or bones, that would be something you would hear about more. But nevertheless, I thought it was very interesting to note. And to note that small amount of cloves contains 55%. That's more than half of your daily value. So cloves are high in antioxidants. Antioxidants, to be more informative, are compounds that reduce oxidative stress, which contributes to the development of chronic diseases. So what we talked about last week about sugars, fructose, these sugars that contribute to oxidative stress. Because of that, it makes you more susceptible to developing diseases, to catching viruses and things like that when you are consuming things that cause oxidative stress. Antioxidants, you see in the word antioxidant, reduce oxidative stress. So they help to prevent and fight diseases, essentially. So I hope that I'm being clear. Let's see. Like the other herbs mentioned before, clove may also help protect against cancer. It can, in some tests, it's been shown to help stop the growth of tumors and promote cell death in cancer cells. So it's no wonder that these herbs are often combined and used together for different things. Not only do they blend well flavor-wise, but as I mentioned, they have a lot of similarities in their health benefits. Cloves are known to have antimicrobial or antibacterial effects. Some people, they chew on cloves and it can help with your gums, infections and things like that, because of their natural antibacterial effects. Yes, a lot of herbal mouthwashes and herbal rinses contain clove. Like some of the things that mentioned before, it can help regulate blood sugar. And as I mentioned earlier, it says that it may promote bone health, and that is one of the reasons is because of it being rich in manganese. Oh, and just like its buddy cardamom, it may help reduce stomach ulcers. It may not only help reduce them, but also heal existing ones. And what's really interesting to me about some of these herbs is that in comparison to certain drugs, man-made drugs to treat illnesses, that the herbs oftentimes are just as effective, if not more. So it's up to us to do the research and really, get into it, because we're not gonna learn this otherwise, unless we go to an herbalist who specializes in this. But in, modern medicine, it's often pushed, the idea is pushed that these things are not effective or not potent enough. And that certainly isn't the case. Of course, some people's conditions may be so severe and drastic that it may seem that they have no choice but to, use other means. And that I can understand. But for those of us who may not be in that position, but are interested in, turning our health around or improving our health naturally before it's too late, before things get really bad and drastic and severe, we can do it. All we have to do is get the information, get the knowledge, inform ourselves, and then apply it. And it's not hard. It's not, I'm telling you. I saw a tweet earlier that had to do with health, and I retweeted it because it just resonated with me so much, because I think about what some people say sometimes. I'm just going to read it. So, this sister said, "I hate when people say, well, we're all going to die anyway, as an excuse to not prioritize their health. It's not about dying. It's about enhancing the quality of your life while you're still here." And that was the mic drop for me. Like, that's what it's about. It's unfortunate because we are so used to things that feel good or taste good, but are not good for us. And I have to say that that is by design. The fact that so many people are addicted to sugar, it's not an accident. And all of these different processed foods, carbs and things that essentially break down into sugar, but also the the things that are high in sodium, all of these things that are not good for us. I hear people, they want to argue that in limiting these things, that they would be limiting themselves in a negative way. Like, oh, I can't enjoy my life. I can't have this pork chop because it is so high in sodium and all these other things. But it's like, you can train your mind, you can train your taste buds. It's a gradual process, but over time, they say you are what you eat. When you start to change your lifestyle, get rid of these things that are addictive and really bad for you, and start implementing fresh fruits and vegetables, and herbs, and really learning. Of course, you can make anything taste good. It doesn't have to be junk. That's a misconception. And at this point, with healthier lifestyles on the rise, we should know that you don't have to eat meat. You don't have to eat junk in order for something to taste good. And it's not really the taste is the thing that gets you, but it's really what's in the food that keeps you hooked on it. And I must mention that Candida Overgrowth is a very, very common thing that people experience. And Candida being yeast, which is a naturally occurring organism within us, when it overgrows, it causes so many different problems in your body. It can cause brain fog. It can cause skin conditions and rashes, nausea, indigestion, all these different things from Candida overgrowth. And oftentimes it's overgrowing because it feeds off of sugar. People are eating sugar all the time without realizing it, without knowing that's really what's happening. But these carbs that we talk about, these starches, pastas and breads and all that kind of stuff, potatoes and processed foods, they break down into that sugar, and the Candida loves it, having a party in your body and wreaking havoc on our body ecology. Man, everything is a science and a balance, and we need to know these things. And I'm just happy to be able to share, because I've witnessed certain things with Candida overgrowth, and you know, when you start cutting those things out, you will really see a difference. But in addition to cutting things out and adding, you know, better things into your diet like herbs, I really want to recommend trying fasting out, even if you want to start for one day. If you've never done a fast before, like you've never gone at least 24 hours without any type of food, I really think it's something that we should start doing more, you know, because fasting has so many benefits, which we talked about last week in the Zen Zone. And it can really help in the process of detoxing. So, you know, eliminating things is great to do. Eliminating toxic things and junk and processed foods. But to facilitate the process of elimination, you want to fast. And, you know, if you feeling up to it, fast for 72 hours for 3 days out of the month. And, you know, this is something that I do every month. It's something that we in the Nation of Islam do. But I would like to invite you all, if you would be interested in doing this fast with me. Let me look at my calendar, because it's coming up. Am I the only one who feels like January is like flying? Because it's going pretty fast, if you ask me. Okay, so in is it next week? Oh, okay, next week is the 27th. All right, so in 2 weeks, the fast, the 3-day unity fast that we do will be happening. So the Zen Zone before the fast is February 3rd. So mark your calendars for February 4th, which will be the day that we take our last meal. And then we won't eat again until February 7th. Now, for those of you who have never fasted, that might sound like a long time, but I promise you, you can live. Not only can you live, but you will live, inshallah, and increase your life. It's so good for you. I've done it many times now, for several years, and I experienced many benefits from fasting, and I really want to encourage you to get into it and fast with me. So, you know, if you're interested, stay tuned to my posts, because I will be posting about it on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm going to make some posts on YouTube as well. But yeah, okay, let's see. I saw toothpaste made out of clove. A lot of people do. Oh, Salam Ahmed. Petro says, is that a Lapis Lazuli gemstone around your neck? It is. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this stone because that's one of the, segments I'd like to have here in the Zen Zone. Gemstones in the Zen Zone, or Zen Zone gemstones. And this is one that I would like to speak about and give you guys a little bit of information. This is a very powerful stone, and I love it. All right. Peace, Thad. Peace, EthioTube. All right, y'all. Let me make sure everything's going all right over here on the Facebook. Peace, peace. All right. Let me get my little... Where is it? I'm looking for my crystal book. Oh. Whoops. There's a piano over there, so if you heard that little note. All right. So this is my little crystal book, the Pocket Book of Stones. Gives me a lot of, condensed information about the different stones and how to utilize them, what they're good for, that sort of thing. Now, I have 2 stones here that I want to talk about today. So we can start with the Lapis Lazuli, and I might not be pronouncing it correctly, but that's how I say it. I know some people say Lapis Lazuli, but I say Lapis Lazuli. The emphasis might be on the wrong syllable, but, who knows the proper way to say it? All right. All right, here we go. So, the keywords associated with this stone are inner vision, truthful communication, and royal virtues. The chakras or energy centers that it is associated with are the throat chakra and the third eye. The element is wind. Physically, it aids in seeing the karmic or psychological roots of illness. Emotionally, it helps in recognizing and dissolving emotional pathologies. And spiritually, it is said that it enhances telepathy, past life recall, visionary awareness, and deepens meditation. I can bear witness to that, because when I wear this during meditation, I do find that I feel like the depth of the meditative state is so much more. Like, it's hard to explain. You would just have to experience it. So, some history about lapis. Lapis was used to entomb and decorate the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. As a stone of royalty and spirituality, it was unsurpassed. It still carries the vibration of the inner king or queen that lies buried in each of us. Lapis activates the psychic centers at the third eye, facilitating enhanced intuition and access to spiritual guidance. It is a stone of visionary awareness, bringing new information to the mind in images rather than words. Oh, I will say, wearing this while I sleep definitely affects my dreams. Definitely. Okay. It enhances intellectual ability, making one a better learner and teacher. It is a stone of truth and a stimulating influence to the throat chakra. Lapis is a stone of initiation as well, a catalyst for a mystical journey to higher awareness. Lapis is often particularly attractive to individuals with past life connections to ancient Egypt, and meditating with the stone can assist them in recovering memories of those past lives, aiding evolution in the current incarnation. And then it talks about the different stones that it's good to pair with, that it harmonizes well with, which include moldavite, which is my favorite, and I cannot for the life of me find my moldavite because it likes to dip off on me like that. Alexandrite, Oregon opal, turquoise, rhodochrosite, sugarlight, I already said rhodonite. Oh no, I said rhodochrosite, rhodonite, and larimar. Alright, so I love this so much. What key or note was that you hit on the piano? I don't know, but the piano was very much out of tune. I didn't even pay attention to the key. This was on the piano, and then I accidentally hit that key. Now this next stone, I really, really like this stone. My sister Jenna gave me this stone after her, she had a trip to Arizona a while ago, and she gave me this stone. Now, it might look like an ordinary red rock stone, but this is a special stone, okay? It's from Sedona, Arizona. And Sedona is a very interesting place. They say a lot of things about it, having energy vortexes and stuff like that. But ever since I've known about Sedona, and it's been several years now, it's been in my heart and in my mind. Like, I really think that I need to visit that place. So much so that if you look on my phone, it's actually, that's my lock screen, Sedona. Go back. Hey. Oh, there we go. That is Sedona, Arizona. I feel drawn to that place. So anyway, she gave me this stone. And it is called Sedona Light. So we're going to talk about it. Okay? I know like there are different stones that visually may seem more appealing because they're shiny, they're vibrant in color and that sort of thing. But this stone, it might look dull, but I can feel the energy of this stone. And this stone belongs with me. I'm very happy it's in my life. But anyway, we're going to get into it real quick. So, Sedona Light. The keywords are balance, inner harmony, psychic sensitivity, inspiration, optimism, and awakening. It is associated and can help all the energy centers, all chakras. The element is storm. Physically, it inspires optimism, enthusiasm, and willingness to transform. Well, that was not physical. That was emotional. Sorry, I just read ahead. Please excuse me. Physically, it supports the brain and nervous system. Emotionally, it inspires optimism, enthusiasm, and willingness to transform. And spiritually, it enhances psychic ability, past life recall, visionary experiences, interdimensional communication. So, hearing that, reading that, and recalling what it says about lapis, I think these would be good stones to pair because they have similar properties, and I think that they may even enhance one another. You know, when you combine certain stones, they can help enhance the abilities of each other. And I think that's true for these two. So, Sedona Light can both charge and harmonize the meridian system, and it can bring one's astral and subtle bodies into resonant alignment with the physical. The stones are both grounding and stimulating, engendering a heightened sense of sensitivity and alertness. They can be used to activate any of the chakras as well as the meridians. See, this is a powerful stone. Don't judge a book by its cover, okay? This is a beautiful stone. It might not have all the glimmer and shimmer of other stones, but this stone is powerful. Okay. Sedona Light heightens one's psychic capacities, enhancing any natural sensitivities and adding dimensions. It can clear away mental fog, fatigue and dullness, and jumpstart one's enthusiasm. Okay, I need to start carrying this stone more. Reading about it right now. It carries a highly optimistic energy, inspiring one to get going on manifesting one's dreams. See, there's a reason I picked this stone up, because it is time for me to work with you, Sedona Light. We gon' get this. Watch, y'all. Transformation is happening right before your eyes, and you're a part of it. And Sedona Light. Okay. Sedona Light is intimately linked with the environment of Sedona, Arizona, and all of the phenomena that occur there. It can trigger spontaneous spiritual experiences, including past life recall, visions of spirit beings and extraterrestrials, and the awakening of one's ability to channel. It offers a quick acceleration of one's spiritual growth and can facilitate extraordinary visions. Sedona Lights work synergistically with Moldavite, Azeztulite, Amazez, and all the stones of vibrational ascension. This is a vibrational ascension stone, so needless to say, these work together well. All right, so that was very interesting. It was good for me to review as well. I felt it was very timely for myself. And yeah, all right. So anyway, anybody have any comments or questions about any of the things that we discussed today? Any of the herbs, any of the stones? Please feel free, and I'll do my best to help. Also, I know you guys can kind of see I got some braids in my head. Shout out to my sis Kalisha, because she hooked me up. I haven't had cornrows in a long time, and I'm very happy about that. So but it's about that time, so I'm about to have to wrap this thing up. I thank you all for tuning in, for your time, your attention, your energy, your presence. It's always a wonderful time here, and I feel really excited about life in this moment. I feel very optimistic. I know that there's a lot of darkness, in the world right now. No matter where you are, there's a lot of darkness that we're seeing, especially in the media. But in that darkness, we can be little lights, and help each other find our way through the darkness, by inspiring one another, by shedding light on one another, helping us become more enlightened, because everybody has something to offer. Everyone knows something that others do not know. And the more that we connect and we come together and share, and especially coming together for, these higher purposes, the more able we become to navigate the darkness. Because this ain't nothing. Thank you, Kaija, for your £5 donation. I truly appreciate that. That's cool. Pounds. But yeah, I feel very excited and optimistic and enthusiastic about the future and about this present moment, this moment that we're in. I just want to thank the Almighty One for this present moment, and for everyone here who is here in the present moment with me, striving to continue to raise our vibrational frequencies, to rise above the chaos of this wicked world that we're living in, because we want to see a new world come in. We want to see the kingdom of God be established here on earth, right? That's what we want to see. We want to see peace. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take people who are willing to do the work to help manifest that reality. And we all have a part to play. We all have a role. We all have different talents, skills, and abilities, and it's up to us to figure out exactly what they are and how they can be used for his will. You feel me? So I feel really good about this, because I feel that I'm being divinely guided into my purpose, into my reason for being. It becomes more clear over time, and I feel that I'm getting different signs and getting confirmation, and I want to keep on, working towards it and developing myself and studying and praying to continue connecting. And with that being said, there's a lot more, God willing, coming from me. I have a lot of thoughts and ideas, and I really think that 2021 is a year of collaboration, of the collective, of communicating, co-creating. It's that kind of year that you're going to see more than ever that happening, especially because of, the current state of things in the world, where we're confined to our homes and not really coming together in the physical as much, but it's causing us to figure out ways to stay connected. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep connecting. We're going to connect. We're going to collaborate. We're going to co-create things, cooperate. All these co-words that just mean togetherness. Because that's the time we're in. It's unity. We're in a time where those of us who want good, who want to see good, who are striving to do good deeds and live righteously, we're coming together and figuring out ways that we can do that together. Ways that I can help you, you can help me, and all of that. That's the time that we're living in, and we're putting our differences aside, but focusing on the things that we have in common. That's what's happening, because that's what's important. We're learning to prioritize what's really important. And I feel very enthusiastic. I feel very optimistic and positive about the present moment and what's to come. I'm very thankful and appreciative and grateful for everything that I've been given and everything that's been done. Everything, literally everything that has brought me to this moment. And I'm just appreciating life in this moment, and just looking forward to what the future has to offer. And once again, I would like to thank you all for being here in Zewdy's Zen Zone. I pray that something I have shared, something I've said, has benefited you in some way. I pray that you've learned something and can use something that you've learned to help improve something in your life. I know that I learned just from reading and speaking to you. I learned so much, and I'm really thankful. If you want to connect with me outside of the Zen Zone, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit me there. And that's about it for today's Zen Zone. If you have anything that you would like for me to touch on in a future episode, please feel free to suggest it. Send me a message, either on Twitter or Instagram. If you have any questions, especially pertaining to health and healing, please feel free. Give me some work to do. And of course, if you want to support me and what I do, these are the ways: my Cashapp, my PayPal, and my Venmo. It's very much appreciated. It's very helpful. And I think that's all I have to say. Let me see before I go. Oh, thank you, Rural. Inspired by your essence. Bless up. Thank you. Thad asked, "Are those your favorite stones?" My favorite stone, honestly, is moldavite, but I don't have any right now. It might be in my house somewhere, but I don't know exactly where because it likes to disappear on me. That's just how moldavite does. A lot of blessings moving forward. Yes, that I agree. What topic are you dealing with next week? I don't have the specific at this time, but if you check back in a couple of days, I will have it up soon, inshallah. I have a couple of things, but I'm striving to be more structured and organized in the way that I do things. So I appreciate you all. I thank you for your patience as I'm working through this venture. And I thank you all for joining me on this journey. A lot of you have been here from the beginning of my internet life, especially on YouTube. And I'm just doing what I feel called to do and staying true to myself. And I want to encourage you all to do the same. Stay true to yourself. Don't let the naysayers and the negative Nancys or the Debbie Downers discourage you, because they don't want you to grow. And in their mind, it might not even be like that. Like, they might not be thinking, oh, I don't want so-and-so to grow. It's just when people are used to a certain idea of you in their mind and they see something that seems different from that, it can be uncomfortable. People don't like change sometimes. But I don't live for people in that sense. I'm striving to live for God and do what God wants me to do. And in doing that and serving God, that's really serving the people. If they but knew. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I just want to encourage you to keep going, keep developing, self-development, self-improvement, self-awareness, self-knowledge. Keep working on self-healing. And don't let people stop you because they don't understand or they don't like it. Because if it's meant for them to understand, they will in time. And if they don't, all praise is due to Allah. It don't stop. It don't stop. Alright, y'all. That's about it. Thank you. Keep smiling, teaching, and praising. Ameen. By God's permission, by His grace and mercy and permission, I will do that. I thank you all so much for joining me here. And again, we are now exiting the Zen Zone. Thank you so much. I love you all. I pray that you feel the love emanating from my being through the screen, because I feel it. I feel the love from those of you who are watching and also emanating it. Alright, y'all. We out.